What's up, everyone? I'm here with UFC Featherweight Sodiq Yusuff. So, researching you, I saw you grew up in Nigeria. Did you start training there, or did you come here when you were younger?
No, yeah, I came here when I was younger. I was 9. I came, so I went home back and forth frequently, but I started training here, and my home gym is here in Maryland.
Right. So, when you were a kid growing up there, were you still kind of like fighting a lot as a kid, or like what made you take
to,
up training?
to be honest, as a kid, I was a real timid kid. I was like easily like scared. I used to get scared of stuff a lot. But I can't really explain it. There's sometimes when you like see things on life and it just like gravitates towards you, right away. The first moment I changed the channel, I saw the UFC. I told everybody that's what I was gonna do.
Oh, that's awesome. So how much does the success of like you said you went back and forth from here to Nigeria your whole life. So how much does the success of other Nigerian guys like the Adesanya's and the Usmans of the world, how much does that inspire you to be a part
Man,
of that
it's
crew?
it's it's a it's a huge motivation. From the first time I saw Usman, even before he like won any UFC, when he won the Ultimate Fighter, when I first saw him on the Ultimate Fighter, I was already like super a super huge fan. Let alone like all the success that they had now. We've had Nigerians in the past, but a lot of them didn't like really rep the country like they're doing now. But like, Usman is definitely he was like the biggest one. He was the number one guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you figure if they do end up doing a UFC Africa, they could have and then Ganu, Usman, Adesanya, all those guys on there. Like how much would it mean to you to get a spot if that ended up
Oh yeah,
happening?
man. I've been asking for that for a long time. I honestly feel like if the whole COVID stuff didn't happen, I think it would have been done this year. So that kind of set everything else back a little bit. But I still think it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, I think, while the sports in this wave with all these African champions having so much success, like they'd be crazy not to have a card there. It reminds me of like a few years ago when everyone was pushing so hard to get it going in New York, like all the fighters wanted. It's kind of like same thing now, but in Africa. But I also saw that on your Instagram, you said you've actually had COVID keeping you down for a few months. So what was that like? Did it make it so you couldn't train at all or just
Yeah,
very light?
that's something that's still like a constant battle that's still going on.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been very rough. I got it right like in February. But I was down like maybe 2 weeks, and I tested negative, and I finished up camp. But it's hard to tell like what's going on in your body like towards the end of camp because you're so beat up. But I didn't realize that a lot of my COVID symptoms never went away. So like after my fight, it still stayed and just got progressively worse. I didn't apparently being an athlete is not you don't want to be training your ass off when you have COVID symptoms. So I was just making it worse and worse and worse. Like I would go in the gym and I'll work out maybe like 4 days and then take one off, and then it turned into 3 days, take one off, then it turned into like going to the gym every other day, and to the point where like then it started affecting my regular life. And
Wow.
that's when I had to sit out for about like a month and a half.
Yeah, yeah, definitely smart to take that break. So what were the symptoms like? Was it like you were running out of breath really quickly,
Yeah,
headaches?
yeah.
Like what was it?
Yeah. So my initial, like when I first caught it, like the hardest stuff was like constant headaches and body aches. That was like the biggest thing, and then the fatigue would just come like at random.
Yeah.
You'll be going through your day, and out of nowhere, your body just tells you it's time to go to sleep. So that
Wow.
like little things like that just kept on going over and over again. Like luckily now I'm at the point where it's no longer affecting my regular life. Like all the headaches and stuff are gone and the body aches are gone. Now it's just about trying to get back to the type of shape that I was in before.
Yeah, I mean when you watch your fight, like I'm always so impressed with your pace and your cardio. So it's got to be so frustrating when, it's the COVID that's
Tell me about it.
yeah.
Right. It's such a new thing right now, and it sucks to be one of the people that's that's helping everybody else figure out what's going on. But I'm blessed that it's not affecting my health. It
Yeah.
never my lungs never got too bad. There was only really one day where like I got really scared from like the breathing stuff, but outside of that, my lungs never got too bad, and I didn't lose my life.
Yeah, thank God. Thank God. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be the guinea pig in the COVID MMA trial. But
Exactly.
and some brighter news, I also saw you were showing that you have your own trading card. Like that's awesome. Like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
cool
yeah.
is that?
It's super cool. growing up, when I was really younger, I was like real big into Yu-Gi-Oh! But then when I aged out a little bit, then I started playing Magic the Gathering. So like when I saw that they put me on the UFC trading card, I was like, nice. Now the next step is to just get myself on a Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm you, like I'm buying up as many Sodiq Yusuff cards as I can. Then a few more wins from now, the value of that thing's going through the roof.
Yeah. Now I wonder if the price goes up or down if I like sign it, because sometimes a lot of those cards they don't want it to be messed with at all.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if there's like a little like chip in the corner, like see, oh my god, how bad would that suck? If like a year and a half from now, your elite contender got a belt, you're like, holy shit, I got all these cards, let me sign them, and then you go to sell them, like, why the fuck would you sign?
Yeah, why'd you touch this shit?
So I don't know I don't know how much you've been following the Olympics, but I think it's safe to say that you're an athletic guy yourself. So I'd like to wonder, as a martial artist, if there was any Olympic sport you could compete in, either one of the martial arts or non-martial arts, what do you think it would be?
Hey, no lie. Right now, I think with some training in the speed walking, I think I could get a medal.
You can medal in speed walking.
I think I could definitely medal in speed walking. Every time I've never lost a speed. I think I've lost like one time. We had like a speed walking like month at the gym where we was all just challenging each other to speed walking, and I'm a natural at speed walking. So with a little bit of high level training, I think I could get a medal.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, I feel like if you train for that, like, and you've already have some experience, like, you could definitely get a medal. You just keep one foot in front of the other. Like, if you combine that with like UFC training cardio, like, you've got a leg up. Yeah.
It's all in the hips, man. It's all in the hips.
Yeah, I think I'd compete on the handball court. Like, how hard can that be? Just like throwing and catching a ball. Like, also feel like if we took like our country's greatest athletes right now and put them on the handball court, they could probably beat like the handball team.
I also try the one where you sweep the little thing that's like sliding across the
curling.
Yeah.
Just like so. There's also like there's a push to. Some people at least are pushing to put MMA in the Olympics. Do you think it would go well as an Olympic sport, or do you think it should kind of be left separate?
No, I think it would go really well as an Olympic sport. The biggest obstacle right now is an amateur scene.
Yeah,
amateur scene that has a strict rules for everybody to to level up, because that's what helped boxing. There's an easy amateur circuit that you can look at to where you have regionals, nationals, worlds, and then into the Olympics. So that's the only thing that MMA would need. I think there's an organization like IMF or something like that, like something with an F that has like youth amateur, and they have a pretty good like system all around. But if we could put more support into that, I think the MMA could definitely get into the Olympics. But then we also have to think about pros over amateurs. I don't know how many people are going to want to stay in amateur. Amateur MMA is a little iffy because there's some places where it's basically pro MMA except you're not getting paid. Right. And this is a rough sport for you to be doing for free.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so crazy because people are complaining about the pay at the highest level. So I imagine at the amateur level, like, it's really got to be. So yeah, it is. But what always amazes me about MMA too is like, it's grown to be so big, but you really think about how old is the sport, 30 exactly. years. So it's like, I feel like there's still a lot of time to build up that infrastructure to, get the pay scale right and to have like that system to make it into the Olympics. But were it to get into the Olympics, which country do you see coming out on top?
Well, right now there's certain countries that got such a big head start.
Yeah.
That I think they're gonna hold it for like a little bit, like like Dagestan, those Russian, a lot of those Russian countries. And honestly, even Brazil will probably they'll probably be holding the top for a little bit until the rest of the world is able to catch up.
Yeah, I feel like the Russians, if they were Olympics MMA right now, I think the Russians would probably.
Yeah, 100%. Right now, no lie, they'll probably clean. Like, they'll probably clean the board,
Just be like 20 Khabibs just standing on the podium with a medal.
Exactly.
But going back to you, I know you say you're kind of coming back from this COVID thing. You're currently ranked 12th in the division. So any idea of when we'll see you next, a name in mind, an event, something like that?
Man, I'll be honest with you, man. Right now, my main goal is getting back to my regular self. Yeah. So I just got back in the gym 2 weeks. Well, last week, to be honest. but even like right now, it's like testing the waters and seeing how far I can push myself. So
Yeah.
that's my biggest goal right now, is to just get back. Before it was to being back to a regular person. I'm happy I'm back to being regular without feeling symptoms on my regular day. But now I don't accept anything but the best for myself. So I'm definitely not going to go into that ring without being ready.
Yeah, really smart. Definitely don't want to rush things. And by the way, if it does, I don't know what this means to you, but fighters who have come on this show are currently riding a 2-fight win streak in their fight directly after coming on the show. Actually, someone last night, Vince Morales, he got a win. He was on.
Nice.
So you got to keep it going for us. Last question. I like to ask everyone this. It never fails to let me down. Always interests me. Before you were a full-time fighter, what jobs were you working?
Okay, before I was a full-time fighter, I was working at Pizza Hut. That was my initial, I hated that job so much. But I think every human being should take a chance to do like a fast food working or any working like that, because it lets you see like how those kind of people are treated. So like me, I'm always super nice to like waiters and stuff like that, just because I know how it feels on the other side. But people, you will be surprised how serious people take pizza. Like people try to threaten my life over freaking pizza. So that definitely sucked. But that's the only real job I had. Then after that, I started working at the gym, which is kind of a real job, but I got a lot of leeway because I was a fighter too.
Yeah, Pizza Hut. Wow, that's definitely amongst the best I've heard. I would not expect that for a guy who later became a professional fighter. Before you go, do you mind telling the story where someone threatened your life over their pizza? Like what happened?
Yeah. So the guy called like towards closing of the store. And I was telling him that, we can't accept your order, like, so he's like angry, like, man, there's still this many time left. Why can't you put in my order, blah, blah, blah. And he says he asked to speak to my manager. My manager has a thick accent. I think I don't have an accent really, except for sometimes when I'm talking fast, you hear like my accent come out. But my manager had a very thick African accent. So I put him on the phone. The guy on the other side of the phone talks to him. They hang up. He calls back. I pick up again. And all he says, "Oh, so you think you're funny, huh?" He thinks I pretended to be their manager with an African accent. and I'm just messing with him. So he's like, "Yeah, we all coming up there right now. We gonna come right now. You think you're funny, huh? We coming up there right now." And then he hangs up. Manager says, "Okay, let's call the police. The police will be here waiting for him." One dude showed up, stayed for like 5 minutes, left. After he left, then the guy showed up with like 6 of his friends and surrounded the Pizza Hut. Lucky for us, the Pizza Hut was like, we already had the doors locked, but they stayed for a long time.
God damn.
And the cop never showed up again. And then after a while, I guess they realized it's silly to go to jail for fucking pizza.
Yeah.
And they left too.
Yeah. Well, fuck the cop who never showed up. Oh my God.
Yeah. He stayed literally for like 5 minutes. I think he thought it was too stupid for somebody to do. Yeah. But he didn't realize those guys were stupid enough to do it. Come to try to beat up the Pizza Hut kid. I was like, I might have been like 18 at the time.
Damn, yeah. The cop probably heard that call and was like, all right, like there's no way someone's actually coming to the Pizza Hut, but they should. Yeah. Well, man, thanks so much for doing this. This is awesome. Best of luck with your recovery, and I'm looking forward to seeing you fight again, man. Thanks a lot for this.
No worries. It's my pleasure, man. Have a nice one.
You too. Thanks a lot.